Hello, hello. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us on episode 3 of the pod.
Hello. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. We're recording today's episode on Thanksgiving from Barcelona. Had a little Italian moment for dinner.
Yes,
for Thanksgiving dinner.
chefing it up.
Exactly.
Yup.
Now we're having our glass of wine.
Second bottle.
Second bottle. And today we're going to be talking about something I think we're all thankful for and also extremely unthankful for, and which was maybe a little less of a thing in our lives, and that's social media.
Yes.
Instagram, Twitter,
Snapchat,
Facebook,
all of it.
Snapchat,
All
Tumblr.
of it. Ooh, they should bring back Tumblr.
Bring back Tumblr.
Would you take Tumblr over Twitter?
100,000%.
Really?
If I'm sorry to say this, if we could bring back OG Tumblr,
Yes.
like OG, yeah.
Like 2013?
Like 2013, 2014, like
Lana, The Weeknd vibes, like that,
everything.
Like dark.
Hardcore porn. I saw literally snuff films on that website. Like
just like a bunch of crazy shit.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't like Twitter. I think Twitter is the worst. Oh, did I say it? We're talking about social media today.
Yeah. You already said that.
Okay. We'll edit that part out. But yeah, I do not like Twitter.
Why do you like Twitter?
I think it's toxic. I think that people are fucking stupid on it. I think that what, 220 characters, that's not enough to form a coherent idea. You know, like Twitter, I feel like for better or for worse, is where we talk about a lot of really like kind of important political and cultural things. That's where kind of we like get the pulse of how people are feeling.
But do we blame Twitter or do we blame the people that are on it?
I think that if Twitter was like a long form platform where you could like really like flesh out your ideas and say exactly what you mean.
But people do that.
Yeah, but it's like long threads, you know, like.
Yeah, but people are still.
But I'm talking about like in the replies, you know, like someone is saying something and another person responds and you have 220 characters and you're talking about something that's like very complex, like the muck rises to the top. Twitter really, I feel like Twitter is all about the zingers. It's all about like.
But I feel like if like Twitter, like when Twitter wasn't around, that was just Facebook. Like that was just, there's always going to be a place where.
I agree. But at least with Facebook, like you can like fully like have an in-depth conversation. It wasn't happening all the time, but if someone said something that you disagreed with and you were trying to have a good faith discussion, you can really like lay out exactly what you're thinking. In Twitter, like you can't try to have a good faith discussion because there's no way that you can fully express your opinion in like a nuanced, mature way.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I have like a love-hate relationship with Twitter. I feel like, I mean, I go on it less like as the years go on. I think I go on it for like the fun stuff. XXX stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
other than that, I go for like the funny shit and to see, you know, what's like going on. But for the most part, I don't take it seriously. I don't take any social media seriously. I think it's fun until it's like not, until like, I feel like once social media gets like overwhelming for me in a way, I'm just like, delete app. But yeah, but I know that's not like, you know, a lot of people can't do that. They like need to stay connected. Yeah. But I think, I don't know. I just think like being on social media is it can become so addicting.
Oh, so addicting.
Yeah, like it's like I would catch myself like, I do it sometimes, but like there was a period where like I would literally like first thing in the morning, I'm I'm like, I need to see what's going on. And it's like, you don't need to see what's going on. Like,
I mean, for me, I do kind of do that, and Yeah, like I do that. If we're being totally honest, the first thing I check when I wake up in the morning is Instagram, and we've discussed it before, you and I, like I love Instagram. Like I think that it's so great. I get that it causes like a lot of problems for other people, but like I just feel like I'm not really susceptible to those things, so I like it. And to me, it's like stimulating. If I don't go on Instagram, I'll fall back asleep and I will sleep all day. If I go on Instagram, that like kicks my brain into like alertness enough that I will start to wake up.
So you depend on Instagram to wake up?
Oh, to get out of bed in the morning.
So is it healthy?
If it wasn't Instagram, it would just be some other thing. I think it's having my phone. I think it's having my phone like wakes me up.
I don't know, with Instagram, like, I don't have a problem with it. I just, like, find myself that, well, maybe it's not that it's a problem. It's just, like, I find myself getting, like, a little bit too involved with it in terms of, like, you know, catching up with everybody, like, seeing what, like, random people are doing. I'm like, why the fuck am I, like, watching these stories and watching these posts? And don't get me wrong, there's so many cool aspects to Instagram. But I just catch myself sometimes being like, why the fuck am I so, like, into these people's lives that I don't care about, like, if outside of Instagram, like,
I mean, that's why I use my, like, Finsta, which I feel like a 18-year-old girl saying that I have, but, like, because everybody who I follow on there, like, it's not like I'm interested in their lives, I'm interested in what they're having to say. Like, I follow a lot of people who, like, I genuinely am interested. Like, I don't care about your relationship status. Like, I care about what you think about what's going on in the world. You know, like, I think that a lot of people, I think especially, like, girls, I think younger teenage high school girls, it can be really toxic for them. And for guys, too. For guys, definitely. But, like, it is very easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to other people, saying, oh, well, like, this other person is doing this person is on vacation in Europe, this person is on a private jet, this person is going shopping in Paris, and, like, I'm in Des Moines, Iowa, and I've never left the state before, like...
Which isn't a bad thing.
Which isn't a bad thing, especially if you're 16 years old, like, that's totally fine.
I mean, across the board.
Across the board, you're right.
Yeah, everyone's different.
Well, if you're 28 and you've never left your state, like,
everyone's
that's not
different.
Okay.
Everyone's different.
I'm sorry, I'm putting my foot down. If you're over 22 years old, you need to have left your state. You need to have at least crossed the state line.
That's true. Well, I think there is an importance of, like, not getting too comfortable in your surroundings. You need to branch out. I know a lot of people from my hometown who they're just, like, the farthest they've been is, like, like the South or something, like the farthest they've been. And that's okay, that's fine. I'm not criticizing that. But it's the fact how, like, they're so close-minded to other places that they think, like, the small town is, like, all that life has to offer. Like, me, I like to travel. I like to go to other countries.
We're literally living in Europe.
But I remember having certain conversations with certain people, and they were just like, what do you mean? Like, why would you want that? Like, there's no point in that. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. There is a point in that. Like, you need to travel to get more, like, I don't know, like, different influences, different perspectives by people, like, even if you never see them again, like, it's just so important for, like, development, for me.
Dumb.
But I don't have that mindset of, like, let me stay in my hometown forever and, like, let me go to the same grocery stores, have the same friends, like, and I'm not criticizing that, but for me, like, I just can't wrap my head around that because, like, I want so much more than that.
I remember in high school, my weed dealer, we were talking one time, and he told me that he had never left the city that we grew up in, like, this suburb. He had never even gone to, like, the major city that we were a suburb of. And I was like, oh, why? You know, like, it's so close, like, don't you want to go? And he was like, no, like, I have everything I want here. He's like, I want to play video games, I want to get high, and I want to eat fast food. And he's like, I can do all those things here, like... And in a weird way, I was like, if that's all you want out of life, like, then yeah, I guess you don't need to leave suburban Texas. Like, you can... I couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think since then he has left suburban Texas, but if all you want in life is like Chick-fil-A, Call of Duty, and some good weed, like, I guess you can stay in your basement.
No, I think people need to find like a drive, like to go outside their comfort zone. I feel like a comfort zone is like way too limiting and like way too... It's not good. It's not good.
I agree.
Yeah, because how are you gonna grow and like I don't
move
around, make some friends, make some, you know, like you just never know what else is out there for you.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like seeing the world is... It's a little bit like trauma in a way that if you really do want to like develop and grow as a person, you have to have it. If your life is just like beautiful and blessed and you never go through any sort of hardship and loss, like, you're not gonna grow as much as you might like to.
Mm-hmm. No, I think moving... I mean, we've lived in different areas, and I think from each place we've lived, we grew up and got some influences, experiences, and I think it shapes you. And I'm not saying that from a place of like I'm better or worse or like anything. It's just like for my personality, I just feel like moving around, and even if you go a state or like even a different town, even a different city, like I think it's so important because it really does open your eyes to new things. And I think as I've gotten older, I kind of had that like mindset, like that small town mindset of like, I'm never gonna leave where I'm from. Like I'm never gonna try. Why am I gonna go to another country? Like I have everything here, and you know, I met someone that was not from where I'm from a different country, and I'm so happy that I got over that fear of like, you know, going somewhere new, because like it's so important. Like I learned so much from it.
Well, I remember the first time that you traveled internationally.
Yeah,
it was a big deal for you.
It was because I'm not even a flyer to other states. No. Like I would just drive everywhere. So for me to like do a whole nother flight, like first of all, flying by itself, I can go on about that. I hate flying.
When was the first time you were in a plane?
First time I flew, I was like young. I was like not baby.
Not baby? Okay.
No. Like 5, 6. Like 4, 5, 6. I went to Florida. Florida.
And how often did you... Because you really do not
my parents didn't like flying. We drove. Like, I'm from the East Coast, so we... Like, I've been everywhere on the East Coast. Mm-hmm. So, the only times I, like, flew, like, with my family was to Wyoming.
Is that the only other, like, plane trip that you'd taken with your family?
Well, we went to, like, Texas first and then Wyoming, like, but, like, the only trips I went to were Wyoming with my family. Wow. Everything else was flying or... driving, or I went to Canada. Like, I drove to Canada.
Wow.
With my family. But, like, other than that, like...
I guess where you're from, that's not that bad.
Yeah, but, like, yeah, it's, like, an 8-hour drive or something. Which is, like, a lot. But,
I think that is a lot.
Yeah.
But see, for me, like... Being in Texas, like, you drive 8 hours, like, you're still in Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I like flying, like, I
hate flying.
I enjoy it.
Like I said, last trip, I mean, flying here was, like, the best flying experience. Like, I just hate being, like, stuck somewhere. I always get, like, sick after a flight.
After flying,
I break out so bad, like... it's just like everything, and then like the anxiety before the plane, like I don't know if I'll be comfortable, I don't know if I'll fall asleep. This trip, amazing, even though we both got sick after our flight
and we got harassed.
Yeah, and I literally broke out and got sick, but you know, other than that, like I slept, I was fine. But yeah, I don't like. Maybe it's flying by myself. I have a big problem with, but
Even when we've flown together, you have not had a good time other than
no.
flying
But
here.
honestly, like this flight, I wasn't like.
Well,
You were a little bit more freaked out than I was.
more.
Yeah.
But for me, it wasn't the flight. It was like the situation.
Yeah, the
of it all.
situation,
It
but
was
but I think like the flight for me, like I wasn't nervous. I was like, we're gonna get there fine. It's gonna be fine.
Flying back from Hawaii was fine for you too.
Yeah, I was sleepy.
Not for me.
Yeah, because I was asleep.
Oh.
But when we flew from London to Barcelona, you were kind of asleep. Your eyes were closed.
I was like in and out.
But
yeah.
like I was up and I was like, oh my god, I want to get on this flight so bad.
I just get bored.
Yeah.
Like that's my only issue.
No, I literally play Sudoku like an old man.
Love Sudoku.
And like listen to music and yeah, listen.
We're
to
getting
music
so off the
Sudoku.
topic of today's episode.
Well, that's fine. I think that's
It's
that's where it goes. You know,
if
but that's
it was
the start.
naturally.
No, and we can always reroute to it. I mean, with social media, like, I think it's so complex in terms of like why it's so good and bad. I think it opens like doors to like good, like people get good opportunities through it, but I do think it can start a lot of like insecurities in people that they never, had before. I think it makes you kind of, like what you said, like with the comparison, right? Like you see someone have more than you, better looking, better life, this, that, boyfriend, girlfriend, like you're like, why don't I have that? I feel like everyone would be lying if someone didn't like look at someone else's life on social media and thought to themselves like, at one point in their life, like why
isn't that me?
Yeah, why isn't that
Exactly.
me? Or like why don't I have that? Or like I want to work harder to have that.
Yeah.
But I think once you have a healthy relationship with it, I think all bets are off and like, do it. Like have social media. But if you're not in a good place with yourself and you're constantly like comparing yourself to another person and you're like ripping yourself apart and you're like anxious on it, let that shit go. Don't delete your account, but like delete the app off your phone. Work on yourself and then get back up on it. But like nothing you do in life, nothing should like make you constantly like anxious and like
self-doubt.
Yeah, self-doubt, like putting yourself down and like going for your own looks and like your personality, look, everything, like everyone's so different and like social media is all a front, like it's all Instagram especially, you're just putting highlights of your life and moments where you want to present yourself in a certain type of way.
See, you said about Instagram, but like
the hiccups.
You're good. I don't have TikTok, full disclosure, but like I do feel like that about TikTok where like and I guess the premise of TikTok is so different than Instagram, but like you're creating this whole like false image of yourself.
Yeah.
And I think for TikTok too, like what I really don't like about it in particular, and I guess with all social media, but especially TikTok, is like the way people completely embarrass themselves and do things that they would never do, hurt themselves, embarrass themselves for attention.
But honestly, like, I get where you're coming from with that, but people have to understand that, like, Instagram has become TikTok. Those reels are literally, like, you show me things, and I'm like, I saw that from TikTok.
From TikTok.
You know what I mean? Agree. And I think they're just, like, intertwined, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And same thing with, I feel like all of these things are, like, they're so different, but, like,
they're coming
all,
together.
like, the same thing, you know? Like, you'll get a post, I see it from Twitter, and then I'll see it on Instagram. Then I'll see it on, you know what I mean? And I feel like all three things could be really toxic. Snapchat, I'm trying to go over, like, the main ones. Like, Snapchat, I really don't go on Snapchat anymore at all. Like, I don't Snapchat anybody. I think we were talking about this, like, biggest red flag, boy or girl, if they're hitting you up just on Snapchat, just know they don't care about you. And
as someone who does that...
As someone who used to do that.
As someone who still does that, confirm. If you... And, like, maybe for the kids, maybe for the youngins, it's different.
Oh, yeah, like, high school, middle school?
High school, middle school, maybe, like, early college, but, like...
Not even early college, sorry.
If you're 23... and someone is only talking to you on Snapchat, they
pass it on. No, unless they're a sneaky link. If they're like a sneaky link,
if it's a
casual, if it's a hookup, like,
like
y'all are not connected,
yeah.
I get that. But if you are trying to be booed up with this boy or girl and
they're talking to you on Snapchat, it's not gonna happen.
Not for you.
Not for you.
Because have some respect for yourself.
Well, and I think it's like,
yeah.
At the end of the day, if you're trying to boost someone up, get their number. You better not be talking to them on
and if it's been like months, like you're talking to someone, maybe in the beginning, maybe say you meet someone at a bar, club, whatever, or Tinder, whatever app, and they're like, you know what, I don't give my number out.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to give you my Snapchat. I get that. First couple weeks, I get that. But if y'all are like spending time with each other in person for several months, and you guys are only talking on Snapchat.
If you have hung out in
Connect
person,
the dots, please. Yeah. Connect the dots.
If you have hung out more than 2 times in person and you're still only like talking on Snapchat, leave it in the bedroom. Like it's never going anywhere else.
And I'm looking back, like I said, I've done that. I've had people do that with me. Like we've been on both sides. Like it was never serious. It was never. But yeah, I cannot do that, and I can't do the, like you talked about this earlier, like not being able to keep up with conversations like on social media and stuff. It's hard.
It's so hard because the thing is like, especially when it's people who you're just getting to know at first, and dating apps are the same way. Like, I don't care enough.
Yeah.
There's, especially like I said, the problem with dating apps is like I'm on Tinder and there's 800 of you, you know? Like, no one is that special. It's hard. No one's that interesting. It's very rare for me to be connecting with someone and like talking to someone on an app, on social media, 100%. Whatever, and really be interested in what they're gonna say. And so I just don't text back.
I mean, I saw like a tweet or a video that like Tinder is more just for people's ego than it is like to connect with people. And it is really hard to connect with people via like Tinder. I
completely agree. Like, maybe Bumble Friends is what I need to do or something like that.
But even that, like, I feel like for me, I make such amazing connections, even if I don't end up hanging out with them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, good talks, a good chat. Like, and maybe that's why, like, I hang on to them. Like, when I'm in the moment, I, like, really, like, embrace it and want to, like, keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
Is because, like, I'd rather that than meet people through, like social media or like.
Do you mean meeting people in person?
Yeah. No. Because like, I feel like, you know, when you meet someone on Tinder, they give you their Instagram, you see their feed, you already have this like, you anticipate what type of person they are. You think about what kind of person they are. They're gonna be like this because they post this and they look like that and like whatever. Then you meet them and you're just like, wait,
you're not that like person. That. Yeah.
You're either better or worse, and in most cases, like. Hate to say it, you're worse. And like from my experience.
No, I agree.
And so I just get let down and I'm like, I want to go home. Like I met up with someone like the other day and they were cool, but like I just was like, don't want to be here. You know, like I was like, you're not the person that I kind of thought you were. So I just don't like meeting people via dating apps. And that's why I let it go. I like deleted it and I'm just like on to the next. Like,
as horrible as it sounds, Grindr is the dating app where I have met the best people. Which like is so, because you think of Grindr as like the scummiest, dirtiest, like place where you are not looking to make connections, but all of my like boyfriends, except for the one I did in college, I guess, and shortly after, no names, all of them were on Grindr, and this one guy was on Tinder, and like I've met more friends on Grindr than any other social media app.
For me, I met one friend through Grindr. One.
Really?
One friend. And it was always just friends. And I respect that. The rest,
Is
Tinder.
that the one who we stayed out with in New York?
No.
No? Okay.
No. My friend from Connecticut.
Okay.
Yeah. That was Hinge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to get on the Hinge. My problem with Hinge and Bumble...
No, Hinge takes a lot of work.
Hinge is so much effort.
Hinge is a lot of work.
Hinge is so much effort.
I met my best connections on Tinder. Yeah. Unfortunately. Will I be going back on it?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I have so many Tinder as a last name in my phone where it's just like, it doesn't go anywhere.
No, mine goes places. And then I'm just like...
You're better about that, though. Like, you are good at the DM game and, like, keeping in touch. Like, I cannot do it.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Well, for me, like, we talked about this. Like, if I like you, and if you're cool... Like, first of all, if I'm attracted to you, and then you give good chat, you're already, like... You're on the list. Like, you're already, like... Okay, it's going somewhere. And then if I meet you and I hit it off really well and you beat my expectations, we're going to keep chatting, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, right now, currently, empty. Like, DMs... No. DMs are dry. No. DMs are truth. Yeah, they are dry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean...
My DMs are not dry.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm going to be honest, I wish they were. Because
I mean, when you go to a new place, like, and I'm happy I did this, right? Because I did get to meet some people, and I'm still chatting with people, but it's friendly, right? But you go to a new place, and you want to see what the people are like, and you want to go out and see, you know, A, B, and C, whatever. But now I'm just, like, past that moment, and now I'm just, like, okay, I can get around myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking to hook up. I'm not looking to date anybody.
I know.
So... You know, and a lot of people here are looking for that. They're looking for a hookup, number one. And then number two is like, I want to date somebody.
You say that you're not looking for a hookup, but like...
I'm really not looking for a hookup.
I know that you're not, but like, are you closed off to it? Like...
I'm closed off to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. You are more than I am, definitely.
No, I'm 100% closed off to it.
I was going to say, like, for me, like, I'm not looking for it, but if it comes to me, like, I'm not going to say no.
No, I'm 100% closed off
As we
to
know.
it. Yeah. I'm closed off to it because I feel like I'm at a time in my life where I've done a lot. For me, for my personality, I'm not saying like I was a crazy like hooking up kind of guy. Like, you know me, like I'm a very like to myself, whatever, and like I'm more like PG-13 than rated R. Yeah. Like I'm more like you know, and for me, I feel like living in New York City, I had that peak of like, I tried dating, hooking up, and being crazy, and like friends with benefits, this and that. And now I'm at a point in my life where I kind of need more structure than I do with like loose connections and shit. Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, if something happened, like if I met someone, found them attractive, it was like a little bit more on the consistent side, I think I would follow through with it, but I'm not like strictly looking for, hey, what's up? Want to hook up? Like,
oh no, that's not what. But like,
yeah.
What I'm saying is like, you're in a situation, you're at a bar, you meet someone, you're flirting,
I'm not
you're
going
dancing.
home with them.
What about the bathroom?
No, no, I grew out of that one night stand. I don't do one night stands.
I love
I know
me a
you
good
love
one night
it.
stand.
Yeah, that's where we differ. I do not like the one night stands.
I just think it's so like I remember reading a couple of years ago that like the new ghosting is something called jarring, where you have like a few good memories with someone and then you just cut it off to like keep the good memories. I'm all about that.
That's so toxic.
I'm all about that. Let's have
I
one.
feel like that's toxic.
It is. It is. But let's have one amazing night. Let's have decent relations, and then let's never talk again, and I'll just remember you fondly.
No, I don't need that. Yeah, but you just like super like. I think the thing with let's talk about it. I think the thing with you is like you like these these intense moments,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And I think for me, I don't need intense moments because I'm an intense person.
I think for me, what it is like I like these really intense.
And then you're just like, bye, I don't want to deal with you
because I can't deal with this sustained intensity. Whereas with you, like
I'm in a very intense person. So it's always going to be intense.
And you are more like this. Not the slow burn, but like the long time intensity thing. Like
You're hit it and quit it.
Not even hit it and quit it. Like I like these things where it's like it's crazy, it's raunchy. We
love
really
so
connect.
much the fantasy.
Yeah, the fantasy.
You're all about fantasy.
The fantasy.
I do not like the fantasy. Because it's not real.
It is.
No, it's not real.
For the moment, it's real. For the moment.
Yeah, but overall, you know it's not real. So then why partake? Like me, in my head, I'm like, why partake in something that's just not real?
But no, just because it's not going to exist in 2 months doesn't mean that it's not real in the moment. I have had great times with people who
I've had great times, but I want more than that. I don't want just a great time. I've had great times with people. I want like something more than that.
I get that. And don't get me wrong, like I do too. Like would I love a regular, consistent. Like, do I want a boyfriend?
I do not want a boyfriend.
Oh, do I want a boyfriend? Absolutely.
You want a boyfriend?
Go. Go. When I'm in France, I'm getting booed up. Like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be there for...
Who too? The person you're talking to?
No. Well, I shouldn't say it so...
But I feel bad.
I do.
But,
maybe he'll meet me there. Or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I want one, but I also don't know what I want. So I think it's fair to say, like, oh, I want something that... I don't even know what I want right now. And I think due to, like, life and where I'm at, like... It's very confusing, and I just feel like our relationship is just so out of touch. Like, I'm so out of touch with, like, my love life that I'm so whatever.
And when I say, like, do I want a boyfriend, like, I do want a boyfriend, but I also understand that, like...
Can you see yourself with someone? Or do you want someone? Can you see it, or is this just a
I think that it's that I want it. I do not really see myself.
I don't see yourself. I mean,
you
see
don't
yourself.
You don't see me.
I don't see you with anybody. I don't know why. I just can't.
I've been with it basically, except for our first week here, I've been with a different dude every week here. Or like every other week. You know, like, I'm clearly not. But that is what I want. Mm-hmm. I would love to have that. I would love to, like... I want someone to, like, cuddle in bed with. I want someone to play with my hair and make me dinner and, like, you know, I want to go on cute dates.
Mm-hmm.
And if any of you are single, have friends who want to do that, hit me up.
This is all anonymous.
Yeah, even though it's all anonymous.
In theory, if you want a pretend boyfriend, hit up my buddy here.
Leave a comment, put your Instagram down. I will reach out to you. My people will talk to your people, and maybe it'll happen.
No, I think I love the thought of a relationship, but I don't think I'm in a position where I could be one, and I don't know what I want. And for me, I'm a very picky and like I'm very low maintenance, but when it comes to like connections and relationships, even friendships, I think I'm pretty. I don't think I'm high maintenance when it comes to like friendships, but like how would you? I think you can. how would you explain this?
I think that in terms of your relationships, like
no overall connections. We don't need to go over.
I don't think
I am more particular.
Yes, I was gonna say you're not high maintenance, but you're very high standards.
Yes.
And
not in a superficial way.
No. But like
a moral way.
It's not like you're needy. It's not like you need this like validation, this constant. You don't need the 24/7 texting. Mm-hmm. But you are someone who like you have these I will say unspoken boundaries
100%.
and red flags. These things
100%.
these random things.
100%.
Random things that most people would not think about.
100%.
And somebody...
But I verbalize it, though. Not all... I don't want to say it's unspoken. I feel like when I'm uncomfortable or someone does something...
Yeah, you
I'm
say
like,
it. You say it.
I don't like that, so can you not do that?
But
You know
I think the thing is, like... You do that.
Yeah.
And I hate to say... with your taste, usually they do that thing again.
But we've grown.
Yes, exactly. But I think that they're kind of, some of them are kind of like weird things that most, especially gays, would not necessarily have an issue with.
Mm-hmm.
And you do, I think that for a lot of people in our demographic, our age group, our whatever, like, these things that give you the ick, that turn you off,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people say, oh, well, that's no big deal. Like, I don't get why you're mad at me
Yeah.
for doing this. And they do tend to kind of have this reaction of like, well, what do you mean? Like, I didn't do anything
Mm-hmm.
wrong. Like, why are you acting like this? Why are you telling me not to do it?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, this is just how I feel. Like, take it or leave it.
Well, yeah, I think for me, you know, especially there's like an ongoing theme, and I play into it. Before, I never blame myself. So I think it's this like tug and pull, and also these types of like connections and relationships that like, I don't know what I want, you don't know what you want, but we want each other.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you don't want me doing certain things. It's not that I don't want you doing certain things, but certain
Yes,
things
it is.
well, it translates into that, but it's like certain things you do make me uncomfortable, and if you do it, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
But it's not me being like on top of somebody being like, you know,
Don't
like,
do this,
don't do this, don't
yeah.
do that. I'm just saying, like, if you do this, that makes me uncomfortable.
But
But
see,
I verbalize that.
I think that, well, I was going to say...
And it's also an age thing too.
Yeah.
Like, it's also like, I think with our age, and it doesn't really, to me, it doesn't really matter like sexuality. It's more of a thing of like, I'm young, there has to be more options out there. I want to do this, I want to tap into that. This really hot girl liked my Instagram post, this hot guy, I see them on my Explore page. Like, there's always this like, I want more, I want more, I want more. And then it's like, but you always end up by yourself or in a situation where you're not taking that person seriously. So I just feel like, and I'm not talking for everybody.
For
I'm
everybody,
saying
no, but...
for most people, I don't, like, personally speaking, like, I don't know a lot of people who are in a relationship, and if they are in a relationship, they're not like 100% with it. Like that
Yeah.
for me, like for our
Yeah.
age group, like early mid-20s, like I don't, you know, like I know someone who got married, but she's still insecure in the relationship. I mean, in the marriage.
Really?
Yeah, but they've just been like, they're just together because of how long they've been together. But like,
The one who
they're
you...
still we're
Okay.
But
But
you, know what
you
I mean?
also,
know
you
what
were
I
telling me
mean?
that
Like,
you also, because like for me, like, I do agree, like, I do know some people who are in, like, I think about the girl who I lived with my last year of college. Like, her and her boyfriend, they've been together for a long time. They have a very committed, serious relationship.
But they're not 1,000%.
I'm gonna be honest, I think they are, and it's just her personality where she's like, where I'm not that serious on it, I'm not that serious, but like, because she is, like, last time I saw her, I was like, so, like, you guys have been together for 5-6 years now, like, is he gonna pop the question, like, if
She doesn't want to get married.
she does, she's like, well, like, she would say yes, but it would be a long-term engagement.
Mm-hmm.
You know her.
Yeah, I know.
She's
No names. I know. who you're
very
talking about.
particular. She
Yeah.
Scorpio.
So am I.
Scorpio like you.
Scorpios.
Very high standards. And I honestly think that they are very in love, but he doesn't meet her material standards because she grew up very bougie, Manhattan private school, gossip girl, the boots house down, whatever. Like,
I just need to throw this out there. If you're talking to a Scorpio and they don't show that, like, if you have a feeling they don't like you, most likely
They don't like
they
you.
don't fucking like you. I'm sorry. Like,
But that goes back to what I was saying about this girl. Is like, at the end of the day, they've been together for 5-6 years now.
and she's not 100% in it.
No, like, she's very in it, and
Okay.
I think that she has this like hard exterior where she plays like I'm not that into it, but
But she wouldn't be with him if she didn't
exactly,
want to be with him.
it's been it's been
in the
that
long
long.
run.
Like,
Yeah.
it's been a long time, and
Yeah.
it has not always been the easiest road. There
It's
were
hard.
many jumping off points for her, and they
Both
chose
of
to.
them?
Both of
Scorpios,
them.
right?
Both Scorpios.
Both very emotional people.
That,
Because
Yeah.
I feel like, steering into a little bit with astrology is
might
like,
be a Sag.
oof. But I feel like with Scorpios, it's either zero, like all or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
All or nothing. It's
Yeah.
either I love you.
I'm
or
aware.
yeah, right. You love Scorpios.
I'm aware.
It's either like I love you, I'm obsessed, or like you're
nothing
whatever,
to me. You're a
whatever.
plaything.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And they make it so obvious, and they don't play these games. And I think they'll end up together in the long run.
I think they will.
Yeah.
I think they will. But again, going back to what you were saying about like people our age and having committed relationships, like I do know a couple of people who have committed. This girl I went to high school with just got married. Same thing. They've been together forever. They've been together since high school. I think they're gonna be good. They're both fucking supermodel, gorgeous people. They're
You never know.
you never know. You never know. But
I
like,
just feel like everyone has, not everyone, let me not speak for everyone our age, 20, mid-20s, but like most couples, they're together, committed,
Not strong.
but they have their toe in like a little bit of the
agree.
water.
I completely agree.
You know? I see it. I see it.
I
see how they are in social settings. I see
Even-
the glances that people
Even the
give-
Australians last
I see
night.
it.
The Australians
That's what-
last night. You're
That's what
married.
I'm saying.
You're married, and you clearly have that much suspicion of your partner.
That's what I'm saying. I was talking about that girl. Yes, but you locked it down. Like, you got married. They're wearing the ring. No
Wearing
one's
the
trying
ring.
to get them. Even if they're being flirty, no one's trying to get them.
I disagree.
I'm
Wedding
sorry.
rings.
I'm
Wedding
gonna be
rings
really
are like
honest,
catnip.
and this is like calling myself out. I used to be a lot more like, not jealous. I think it came from a place of possessiveness. I used to be a lot more possessive. 100%. No, I'm calling myself
And
out.
you still are possessive.
No, I'm not.
Girl, you literally said that you couldn't.
I joke around though.
Okay.
No, I do joke around. No, I 100% like. I used to be a lot more possessive then, but like at the end of the day, if I would never want to end up with someone that I can't trust by themselves, and like at the end of the day, like I can like do these like bullshit relationships. I can talk and like whatever and like, but I'm not marrying someone that
You can't trust.
I can't like, oh, they can't go to a party by themselves. Like, I still know people who are like literally booed up, like married. And are like, they're not going to a party by themselves. Like, you don't trust the person you married.
Your husband or your
I'm sorry,
wife.
are you okay? Like, not to be a dick, but like,
No, I agree.
Are you good?
I agree.
I would never. And we talked about relationships like, I think it was like the other day, like the importance of being an individual. Like, yeah, go to the party. Goodbye. I'm gonna stay home, or like I'm gonna go to my own party. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not gonna cheat on you, and I hope you don't cheat on me and have the same respect. Like, I just hope we have that same respect. And if you don't, speak up about it. If you want to, like, relationship, marriage, whatever, like, if there's any point in your life that like everyone changes every day, I think that, right? Everyone grows every day. If you find somebody else and you're obsessed and you want to leave everything for them and you thought it through, really think it through, stick to that. You know what I mean? We'll break up and move on, and it'll be really hard for whatever, and vice versa. Like, I could be with someone and, I meet somebody else and I'm like, I'm having problems in this relationship, and like, I mean, I would never cheat, but I would like,
You would never cheat.
Just talk about it. I would not now. I cheated once in my life and I literally had it. I had the most, like the worst amount of guilt. I'm a guilty person. I mean, not a guilty person, but like I feel
You
guilt
feel
a
guilt
lot.
strongly.
Yeah.
No, you do.
Yeah, I do.
You do.
I'm a guilty conscious. The wine speaking, sorry.
Though.
Yeah.
I do not.
Yes, you do.
I do very much have a guilty conscience. Like when I do something bad, I feel very bad about it, but I'm also very good.
Let me call you out.
Feelings.
The person that's on the outside is not the person on the inside.
How do you mean?
I just feel like a lot of people. I do this too. You have a very strong exterior, but you're so soft.
I'm a baby on the inside. Yeah.
You feel guilty. He feels guilty.
Neck kisses and cuddles. Yeah, like I will be honest. Like
No, but I'm the same way. It's not good or bad. It's not like an insult or anything.
I mean, like I said to you the other day when we were out walking, like, I don't think I've ever not cheated on a boyfriend, but I've also never been caught cheating.
Which is not a flex.
And
he is working on that,
Which is exactly, I want to improve, because the thing is, despite never having been caught, I do still feel guilt for all of those things. Like, you remember so-and-so at so-and-so bar in Connecticut. Yeah. I still feel terrible about that. I'm still like, that was a really shitty thing of me to do. Yeah. For both of them.
100%.
For both of them.
I cheated once in retaliation to I was in a I was in a very toxic relationship, and I was used to be very tick for tack, and someone cheated on me via like Instagram, right? And
emotional affair.
I took it up a notch and cheated in person, and then it started the game of like, oh, you're gonna do that to me, well, I'm gonna do this, and yada yada yada, and this and that. But I will never do that again. Ever again. Because there's no need. There's no need. Like, why would I be with, like, literally lay up with someone, be like, love you, and then be like, I'm seeing someone else? To me, I'm like, you just want drama. To me, that's so drama. Like, that is so fucking drama and, like, dramatic, and, like, you just want, like, fucking that, what's that saying? Have your cake and eat it. No, but it's even beyond that. It's just such bullshit, because like at the end of the day, you like, this is why I have such a problem with indecisiveness when it comes to people. At the end of the day, you know who you want more. If there's two people right in front of you, you know, maybe they both validate you in certain situations. I 100% can see that, but like overall, you know, if you had to pick one, who would you pick? You know who you're going with. Yeah. So don't fucking start that. I have love for both of you, or like I hate those people. Like you see it so much in like reality TV or like stupid shit like that. It's like they want to like date like several women or like several men or whatever, and it's like, girl, cut the shit. Just have one. Just have one. I mean, not just have one. Just be single. Just be single. If you just want to fuck and like hang out with someone and get like attention, you could be single and have it from so many people. But why like sign up for something, look someone in the eye and be like, hey, I just want to be with you. Then you're gonna be fucking like 3 people on the side.
Controversial question.
Dirty.
Gonna throw into the mix.
Dirty.
What are your thoughts on polyamory?
I think we talked about this on the podcast.
Like,
I don't agree with it. No, we definitely talked about this on the podcast.
I do have to say though, with that, like, I could not do it.
It doesn't work.
I think it does.
It doesn't.
I
think you're going against what you said on the podcast.
No.
I think on episode 1 we talked about this.
Probably Gemini. I changed my mind. It happens.
It doesn't work.
I fully support polygamous marriage. I think that you should.
I support whatever makes other people happy.
That's
for me. If I had a friend, and they come up to me and they're like, "What do you think? My partner wants to go
open relationship.
Open relationship. What do you think?" not gonna work. Immediately would say that. That's just my opinion on it.
I agree.
I've never seen an open relationship work out.
I think
I've tried it. I'll be honest, I tried it. Didn't work out. I've seen so many people, straight, gay, everything in between, whatever you're into. They just don't work out. Like, just be single. It's so easy to be single. Like, instead of being codependent on your partner and, like, not letting them go and do whatever they want, like, why are you going to torture yourself? Especially when it's, like, the other person initiating it, and then there's two, it doesn't justify anyone's behavior, but, like, it's a two-way street.
See, like,
but it's one person wanting it more than the other person. It's one person initiating the idea and saying, hey, I want to be open, and the other person's like, oh my gosh, I love this person, I don't want to let them go, I'm gonna just say yes. And then they're, like, forcing themselves to be in an uncomfortable situation.
What do you think about a situation, though, where two people who are both into it find each other? Two people... Because, see, like, I do hate to say this, like...
I have not met those types of people, and if I have, it's just not healthy. It's not healthy, in my opinion.
I disagree.
I would love to bring you out to the first episode, because you literally supported... I think you did.
No, I agree. And I will say, like, for me... Could not do it. I could not be in an open relationship. I could not be polyamorous.
I mean, whatever works for everyone else.
Hold on, hear me out. But I think that there is, like, a very long tradition in our epigenetics, whatever you want to call it, of polyamory. Abraham, you were reading the Bible.
I don't believe in that.
All these people had 5-6 wives.
I don't believe in that.
I think that it is really hard. Like, some of us are monogamous. I think that you clearly are. I kind of am. But I think there's a lot of people who are not cut out for monogamy, and that's that. Abraham had a bunch of wives. Like, for a long time, polygamy, polyamory was the norm.
I just don't think it's, like, healthy, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's not healthy to have, like... No, like, I wouldn't want to be a part of that. Like, if someone needs to be like, their feelings,
but it's not about just
it comes from
validation.
validation. Yes, it does. It's an attention thing. If you need to have attention from several people to feed your ego or, like, give you sex, whatever the fuck you need, like, I'm sorry, like, for me, like, that's not healthy. You? No, it's not for me, and I'm not. And whenever I talk about things, it literally never comes from a place of, like, I'm above or, like, below anybody. This is just, like, my own perspective and what makes me comfortable. I do not think it's healthy for people to be in a polygamous relationship. If it works for them, whatever makes you up, go for it. For me, if I was with somebody and they're like, I want to be open, no. I tried it and it didn't work out. So
that's the thing for me. Is, like I said, I fully think that we should have polygamous, whatever, marriage be fully... If you want to have 3 wives and 3 husbands, knock yourself out.
No.
I think that legally you should have all this.
That is not... No.
Not for me. I couldn't do it personally, but I also know people who can, and I think that there are people who, like...
Who do you know can?
I know that there are people that can.
Who do you know that can?
Personally?
Nobody.
Because I don't talk about this with the people I know.
No, because no one does that, because it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out.
I mean, I have a couple people who I know who they just, like, they cannot keep down the one single partner, and they want more. I think a lot of people, like...
And are they just single?
Yes.
Yeah, but they're not in a polygamous relationship because they don't work out most of the time.
I have to say, my personality, I do not do well with the poly crowd.
It's not a poly crowd. Like, I think sexual preferences isn't, like, a certain type of person. I think it could be anybody, because when it comes to sex, like, a lot of people don't talk about their sex life. And like, we could think they're, like, I could meet someone and they're, like, completely normal, straight edge, like, goody two shoes, whatever, and they could be fucking, like,
crazy.
Not crazy, but they could be in, like, a polygamous relationship and, like, fucking 6 people at a time where, like, we're all together.
Actually, I will say, you're asking who I know.
Don't say a name.
My ex, you know the one I'm talking about, they're in an open relationship and they seem to be doing extremely strong.
Okay, extremely strong is not a good word to use, because, girl, I'm sorry. Girl, let's bring up the OnlyFans. That's not healthy.
I think
but
it's
we're
a
gonna
choice.
move on. But
I think it's a choice. I think it's a choice.
It's a choice, but it's not healthy.
But
for a relationship, it's not healthy for your partner.
No, I think
to be recording.
I think that you're falling into the trap of saying it's not for me, and so it's not for anybody.
I'm not saying that, because the whole time I've been talking about polygamy, I literally said, if it makes you happy, whatever. But I said, I don't think it's healthy for someone to be in a relationship with someone who's constantly recording, having sex
with other people.
With not other people, strangers from the street. So
they're not strangers from the street. Girl, these are people people who he's developing Twitter relationships with or whatever.
At the end of the day, it goes back to whatever makes
someone happy.
Exactly. And I support that 100%.
And that's
like you know, with all jokes aside, but yeah, polygamy is not for me.
Not for you.
But you know, if it works for you, go off. Get your sex on.
And that's what I'm
saying.
Sex
is good.
It's
be
not
safe,
for,
have your fun.
Not for me either, but I think that there are people out there.
I haven't met a successful polygamous relationship. And when I do, and I hear like a clear, you know, like explanation and like a sense of like all three people or however many people are comfortable
happy with it,
I can maybe understand it better. But from my perspective, from seeing it from other people and then like me trying it out, I don't think it's reasonable.
But I also think too, like, I don't think that you can do an open relationship polyamorous, like, for your personality, not at all.
Rather just be single.
Could not do it at all.
100%.
That being said, that relationship that you were saying, oh, it was toxic, whatever, that relationship was toxic when you were monogamous.
But that was also because that was my first relationship.
Poly,
that has
open,
nothing to do,
whatever. Like,
yeah, but
I agree,
that is such a different conversation. That's like,
I guess. If that's how you want to take it.
I mean, even your first relationship, right? Like, it ended in. I mean, obviously we're in different circumstances in different ways, but like, it ended in a sense of like there was some bullshit going on. You know what I mean? Like, there's
with.
Both, but there was some
infidelity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the see, and this is why I say maybe I could be, because like my issue is never like the infidelity. I
feel like there was a shift.
We were together. We were together for over a year after that happened.
But there was a shift after that. Because
I agree.
Yeah, because you were like starting to act up after that.
But I was also, see, like...
But wait, no. Wait. Here's the thing. Let me throw this out there. You justify other people's actions based on your
my own
action.
Because that's what I was going to say.
And you give people, even outside of that, you give people the benefit of the doubt.
Because I said... I completely agree. I said, well, I've done worse than what he's done, so I can't really be mad. And I will say, like, yes, there was a shift.
Both young.
Yes,
it's the same thing. Even though like my first relationship was just completely extreme and like all over the place, I was still 21 years old and fucking. It was my first relation, and I can go on about how it's good and bad and this and that, but whatever. But it was like I was in a different place. Like I was.
And it's like I will say, I do have to say, like, I get that is a valid point, what you have to say, but like by the time I moved in with him, the ex who
we can't say their name
you're talking about, like, me having caught him on Grindr, that was not an issue. That was not something.
We're really throwing it out there, dude.
No, literally.
Throw it out there.
That was not an issue. It was not something I thought about. It was not something that we had serious issues with our relationship, but that was not one of them. We had, like, there were much more
But you were
significant.
upset by that.
I was upset. I was upset for, like, what, 2 weeks?
I think I've never seen you more upset than that. In terms of,
Really?
like, sad, yeah.
And like I said, I did some fucked up shit that summer, and I never got caught.
Messy.
I went and met his
We
parents.
don't need to go. We don't need to go over the
the gory details. Cause
yeah. But
and
it
like, it's
doesn't
like,
justify anything. You guys just were not.
we weren't meant for each other.
Yeah, and I also think, like, you guys are young. I think, like, 20 to 25, like, I'm not saying, like, you know, your relationships aren't valid, but those are growing up. That's
They
just such
are.
a
I agree.
even late 20s, right? Like, I still think it's like you're still growing up, right?
No, I agree.
But
I agree.
especially early 20s, you guys are just finding yourself. You guys are just, like, deciding what you want to do with your career. You guys are just deciding where you want to live. Like, you know, for most people, I'm not saying for everybody, but it's like, you know, now for me looking back, like, I'm not going to constantly fault my ex for being a shitty person. I'm not going to give them the excuse of being a shitty person. Like, I mean, I can go on about why they're a shitty person, but I'm not going to, like, harp on them and be like, you're such a bad person, yada, yada, yada. Like, or even any of my exes, because, like, we were both, like, 21, 22, 20 years old. Like, who I was at 20, 21 is not the person who I am today, and I'm in my mid-20s.
I would say for the person you're talking about, like,
I don't need to go on about them. They need
No.
growing up to do. Like, I don't need to.
because I think they are acting like a
Yeah,
shitty
yeah,
person.
yeah.
Like,
And
it's-
we already know that. But
Yeah.
I just feel like, as I've gotten older, you understand, you don't give people excuses, but I think you understand more of why people do certain things and, like, the place that they're coming from.
Mhm.
Or at least you try to. And, like,
Dumb.
I don't get as, like, I still get irritated most of the time.
But that
But I don't get, like, angry. I don't truly feel, like, angry towards, like...
me. That's what you always say. I take it too far in the other direction, where
Mhm.
I really understand where people are coming from, and I say, oh, like,
Yeah, you took it way too far.
I give a lot of excuses for people because I can understand the reason why they're doing what they're doing.
But then they're doing, like, something really shitty.
Yeah, and I'm like, but they have X, Y, and Z reason to do it, so it's okay. And it's not.
And then part of growing up is meeting the middle.
Yeah.
Because and people need to understand that holding someone accountable isn't having to be aggressive and, like, yelling
yeah.
and, like, sending a paragraph. You could just talk to someone and say, and this is friends, family, hey, what you're doing is making me uncomfortable. Can you please stop? That's it.
Yeah.
There's no, like, fuck you, you piece of shit. Like, you don't need to do all of that. That's just so unnecessary. But, like, if you talk to someone calmly and you're just like, hey, like, I don't like that you're doing that. And if they don't stop, why are you still messing with them?
Yeah, exactly.
Then it's your fault for staying in that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're constantly having to tell someone, like, hey, you're making me uncomfortable,
don't do this.
it's your fault. It becomes your fault. And before I didn't look at it like that, but as my age, I look at it like that. But yeah.
So,
Anyways, on that note,
I think we'll bid
thank
adieu.
you for tuning
Thank you
in.
for
Episode
listening.
3.
So, like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends.
Yes. You know, all our supporters.
Thank you. We appreciate.
We really appreciate it. Anybody who supports it. And
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.